that directly of you. How is there? Are there ways of knowing? Who? I know it's a question that's just multi-hydra and there's no one answer to. But I will ask it anyway. That are there particular pointers, ways of knowing that this person is after me just because, of my position, of my money, of my.
I will say there are subtle ways of judging. For example, as somebody said, if a married man asks you out, you have to be careful as a woman, irrespective of your age.
Yeah.
Because you start thinking, what's his purpose? Where will it lead to?
Mm-hmm.
Then if he now starts asking you where you work, how much you earn, then if you are self-employed, he wants to know your net worth, you should start being careful. Because it's obvious that he is after something else. But if somebody who just asks you out, let's go to a play or whatever, or watch football or something, at least from that interaction you can gauge what the person wants.
Right.
And you start to observe. But my own intuition is that once you have doubts about the person's objective, you have to be on guard.
Once, because your body,
because your instinct will tell you something.
So you actually, is it true what they say that in relationships, in the first week or so, you know that this person is either not quite right, you are just deliberately refusing to say it. Is it true?
It's possible. If one is very careful, at least you can read between the lines. And if somebody refuses to introduce you to his friends, and you don't know his relatives, you have to be on guard. Because it means the moment it breaks, you don't even have any contact more with him.
Right. I had a unique story told to me recently by a friend of mine who said the best relationship of his life was a woman who was 9 years older, and he didn't know because the age was never an issue. They found out when they needed to travel or something, and the passport. That was when he saw, and she too said, "Are you this age?" And he was, "Are you this age?" And unfortunately, they couldn't get beyond that anymore. And he's gone on to marry someone else and all that, and he still says that that's the best relationship of his. And I kept saying that, why was it an issue? And he raised your issue. He said, but I was concerned about children. I said, but if you thought, because at that age he was just at the cops, why didn't you go for it at that point? He said, I don't know. I don't know.
And I also think it depends on the intelligence of the person. Some ladies have already set up ready-made tests for your intentions or objectives. Ready-made, they are there. So when you come, they pass this test to you and they know. But some people are just like the concept of the in-love experience. They get so involved in the in-love thing that for even a year,
they use scowl in disdain.
They don't even know anything.
Concepts.
Okay. The in-love experience, they just enjoy the ecstasy and they don't care to find out things that will affect. They plan for wedding, but they don't plan for the real marriage in their life.
Right. I've got to finish up now because at the end of the day, we never really come to an answer for anybody. We can only just rub minds, and everybody would take something away from it. But it's also to examine what our thoughts are, and what our beliefs are, what the facts are, what are the options that are open to all of us. What I would like to say is that people should just go on, and just experience life. You know what I mean? It was counting as love. You know what I mean? Experience life. But Professor, I'll give you the last words. I mean, what have you got to say to people as a parting word, a parting advice?
Well, my advice is always to be careful in whatever you do. Because in the last analysis, your best friend is yourself.
Yeah.
So whatever will benefit you as a person should be your final decision.
Right.
Whether the man is older or the woman is older, doesn't matter. What matters is what sort of rapport do you have between the two of you. Because it's only you, only those two that matter. The others are just like noise around you.
Right.
So set out, know your goal, know what will be of benefit to you, and then you take a decision.
Right. Finally, Professor, what about the situations of, because of all these other sociological factors that we can't go into, that this kind of clear case of abuse, because that's how I would read it. If a woman, anybody, whatever, that's why I keep saying to people that when I talk about this thing, it's not a gender thing. If I saw a boy being abused, I will speak up against it and stand up against it, and just as I would for a girl. I think that if one is having sexual relations with a boy in secondary school, mostly under the age of 15, I think that Lagos State has defined, I don't know the rest of the country, has defined a childhood of about 14 or 15. So anybody below that, it's actually statutory rape.
Yeah, but what you should also find out is age at first sexual experience.
Aha.
That's what you should find out. For many of the youths, the age at first sexual experience is below 15, in fact.
So those people having the experience with them at that time, it's statutory rape.
It's statutory rape. But for all you know, it is not even that boy's first sexual experience. You should go into the secondary school levels and see what children of age 12, 13 are doing. And girls of age 13 are now coming up with pregnancies. So there is a lot of work to be done.
I was just going to say,